Hello guys, welcome to the channel Udule FC. If you're a Manchester United fan like me, then you're probably still grieving that defeat to Tottenham Spurs in the Europa final. Onana, I will not forgive Onana for that final. Now, we have lost the final, we have to look ahead, and something that came to my mind that will hurt me like I've been thinking for seeing our performance during the whole season how it has been, and the fact that I've always told friends and family that this is rock bottom for Manchester United. I think I have felt it for quite a while because you watch the performances of the field, you see how bad they are, and I think we can all agree that Manchester United have experienced the worst season in its whole entire history. Because the fact is, the one that happened in the past that Manchester United went to relegation, we were not there. So this is probably the worst season Manchester United have ever experienced in its whole entire history. And still, we did not go to relegation. So you have to understand that this is rock bottom for Manchester United, and I've been telling friends and family for quite a while that we are hitting rock bottom because the manager keeps reiterating the fact that they are doing everything to make it work, but for some reason it is not working. I watched countless interviews from even Benny McCarthy when they are sharing the experience. I saw it with Ten Hag, and I have been thinking this in my mind for quite a while now, and I have expressed it to friends and family. But then I heard Simon Jordan of Talksport also had similar sentiments about Manchester United season. And I think if you pay attention closely to what is happening, I think you would also see the reason why this is rock bottom for Manchester United. And a club like Manchester United cannot go worse than this.
Another 10 years, you're going to see the analogy that I made of Manchester City being Red Bull and Man United being a Ferrari being eroded because the next generation of fans are light upon winners and Man United are not winners. So they've still got some juice in their tank. The idea that United are going to be in a situation where they can't change the direction of travel because they haven't got Champions League revenue is probably incorrect. They're going to have to be a little bit more adept in their trading and find their way through the Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and whoever else, Anthony and whatever else they've got wrapped around them, which is of no benefit to them on the field.
I also share similar sentiments here that the fact that Manchester United does not go to Champions League, yes, it does limit how much money we have, but it doesn't stop Manchester United from being able to spend money. I very well believe Manchester United this summer is going to spend money. It's not because of any other reason that they have to. They have to back the manager. Ineos have a project and they have to go for it. So far, they have only done probably 25% of what they are meant to do to take us back to where we need to be. And I think this summer is a very big one. They are going to spend, and yes, they'll have to probably be adept in the way they spend the money because yes, they have to now make some sales, probably sell a player like Garnacho, a player like Marcus Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, and that will be part of the funds that will be used to fund this project. I am very believing that Ineos are going to spend as much as 300 million this summer. How much they are going to sell, I don't know which players are going to go yet, but they will have to balance the books. Maybe net spend might be 150 million to 200 million, but they are going to get in enough players to get the manager to do what he has to do. I reckon there's going to be at least 8 players coming this summer. I know it's kind of tough to do, but it is what they have to do, and I think they are probably already working on it already.
And find their way through that. But I think, realistically speaking, what we saw yesterday, you can only bounce when you hit the bottom. I've seen that in my life. I've seen it in businesses. I've seen it in other circumstances. I think we just saw Man United hit the bottom.
So you could only bounce when you hit the bottom, and I think Manchester United have just hit the bottom. And I felt it emotionally when it happened, when we hit rock bottom. That was when we lost that final. Because you have to understand that no matter how bad we were in the EPL, finishing probably 16th, 17th, in the Europa we had hope. In the Europa we had something to look forward to. And even that, the players couldn't find motivation to do it.
You cannot make a case for Manchester United to be finishing 16th in the Premier League, two places above the relegation spot, and putting out a performance. Put aside the euphoria for Tottenham. Fantastic, delighted for them. Man United were abject. and they've lost a final in such an abject manner with so much riding on it, so much opportunities to change the direction of travel, new manager, getting an opportunity to bag a trophy, the additional revenue, knowing that Man United need additional revenue to be able to compete with the perhaps challenges of PSR. None of that made a difference. They were poor because they are poor.
None of that made a difference. You have to understand all that was riding on that one match. So these are players that were terrible for probably 38 matches of this season. They have been not good enough. Now they had only one opportunity. They had to only train for one game and they still lost it. You have to understand how deep that is. So they knew that if they won it, they would have had Champions League. They knew if they won it, they would have had money for the club to, some of their salaries would even be increased. So they have personal incentives to perform in that matches. Casemiro, I heard the salary would have gone up. I think most of them had it in their contract that if they enter going to Champions League, there will be bonuses for the players. But they couldn't still get that one match off the line. So these are the points that goes to prove the fact that this is rock bottom. And if you have ever been in that point of your life when no matter what you do, you fail, you would understand what is this. There are sometimes you get to and it doesn't always, you do and you do and do, you don't see result. That is rock bottom. And if you have ever come out of such a situation, you will understand what probably Manchester United is going through. And I don't think we can fall any deeper than this. Now, this is the deepest Manchester United. Now, what we have to pay attention to now is the bounce. Where are we bouncing to? What are we bouncing to?
And they've been poor for a period of time. And we don't see any change currently. But what I don't think is going to happen is I don't think you're going to see Man United not spending money in the summer. I don't think you're going to see Man United not trying to affect an outcome to give this manager his head, because they have to. The only challenge they've got really is, besides the idea that they might not have enough cash,
it's not get relegated.
Well, I don't think that's realistic. I don't think Man United will be relegated.
Really?
But I don't.
So this is as low as it goes?
I think so. I think you've just witnessed the Man United beast hit the bottom and the clank of the bottom.
You just witnessed the Manchester United beast hit the bottom, hit the clank of the bottom. You know that big sound when a drum hits the floor? That dang. This is Manchester United hitting rock bottom. You are never going to, I can bet it to you, you can never see Manchester United coming this low again. Why? Another reason I am very optimistic is the fact that it is happening under Ineos. I know you might not have faith in them, and you have to understand they do not have a choice. So it's not like they did not come to invest in Manchester United to lose. They did not come to invest to sit around and not do anything. You might not like what they are doing currently. You might think they are not following the right steps, but they have spent money on their plan. They have done their research. They are doing their research. They are going to give the manager the best possible chance next season. They hired him. They can't sack him right now. They have to give him a chance. We saw when Glazers gave Ten Hag the opportunity, they gave him a chance. But then Ten Hag did not have the Omar Barada. Then Ten Hag did not have Wilcox.
And then that's when you start to bounce. And I think you'll see a bounce. Now, what that bounce looks like, it might mean that Man United finishes 10th next season and not 17th. But the point is that you will see a reaction from Man United, both economically and on the field, I think.
Okay.
You will see a reaction from Manchester United both economically and on the field. I am very optimistic, and I know Manchester United are going to spend a lot of money. They might not buy the players you desire or the specific players you might want. You might want Gyökeres and they get Liam Delap. You might want Mbeumo and they get a Sameyu. But one thing is for sure, they are not Glazers. They have a plan. They are going to get in players. We saw what they did in the last window. You might not have liked it because of how the season went with, we signed Ugarte, Mazarawi, Euro, Zexi, and it might not have gone the way we all expected it. But now they have a second chance and a second go at it. Remember, they did not have a lot of time in the first opportunity. They had few months because everybody was still getting new to their offices. But now they have had months of suffering. It goes down to the point that I am happy Ruben Amorim came at the middle of the season. I'm happy he has had this chance. I know it hurts where we are. I know we all feel the pain. I know we hate him. But now I'm promising you we will love him. We will have to love him. Because he's going to get us the win. Spending this time he has spent at Manchester United, for me, it's like IT before the main job. Now he might have bad reputation already, but it now has even more at stake and more to deliver now. He has a personal emotional attachment to wanting to fix it now. For a man like Ruben Amorim, that desire is what drives them. United, we have lost our way. Now we have to find it again. That's what hitting rock bottom does to you. It makes you understand that may that name rest first. So I need to now go back to strategy. To the basics. Manchester United have been poor. The structure, the culture, the backroom staff have been poor for a long time, and it is the responsibility of the Inos, and they cannot shy from it, and I don't think they are going to shy from it anyways. More interesting that I think Luke Shaw also shares a similar sentiment that Manchester United have hit rock bottom, and I think even the dressing room, they feel it that they have hit rock bottom. Now I know it's not an excuse for them, but you also understand as individuals, whether you like it or not, they went into training every day wanting to improve. Whether you think they gave enough of it, or whether you think they worked hard enough, that is up for a debate. But whatever they did not work, so they are disappointed in themselves, so they feel at all-time lows for themselves on a personal level. Bruno Fernandes will not be happy. Casemiro will not. That final would have break Casemiro because they did not perform well. So individually, what Luke Shaw was saying in the interview was they have to look at themselves, and they have hit rock bottom. Manchester United as a club, because Manchester United is them, is us, we have hit rock bottom, and it's something that a realization I think fans need to be aware of. Like, when you criticize it, people know they are human beings. Be empathetic and understand that even though it's their responsibility to perform, now it is totally up to Inos to choose the players that we are going to share that responsibility of, the players who are going to give the responsibility to. Now the building has to be brought down so that it can be raised up, and not qualifying for Champions League gives us a chance to sell any player and bring in a replacement, and then we will see what the future has for us. For me, I think this bounce is going to be a good one. It's going to be positive for Manchester United. I know in my heart of heart that Manchester United, there is a lot of potential in this squad and in the one to come. I know a lot of players have to go, but I'm very, very positive of the ones that are going to come. I'm very positive in Inos, in whatever they are doing. I know we are not seeing actions yet, but first, you have to have faith, and I think they are better than the Glazers. I don't have to be very critical of them yet. I don't think, they have had enough time. Now, this is their opportunity to actually give us the change that we have been asking for. And, we're not expecting to win the season next season, but we are expecting a bounce. We cannot be as bad as this season. And yes, for Manchester United, we should have standards and all that, but we have to build from somewhere.